Hey guys, it's been a few weeks. Got some updates. Been some exciting things going on. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a few weeks ago, I guess, rather, we looked at making this frame bag that would fit kind of in the frame, being able to, unzip it, put stuff in there, get it fully loaded, even maybe a little bloated out if need be, and being able to zip that back up and kind of having a slightly protective kind of cover for that. Creating the straps for it, putting those on, putting the tape onto the frame to protect it from the places where it would rub. We did that. The next thing that we did was we discussed kind of things that were coming up. And that's what today's post is about, is one of those things. If you recall, originally with this bike, and I had it fully rideable, I had this fork on here, which is a Lauf fork, and from my experience riding it a little bit back when the bike was rideable, I liked it, but I didn't like how it looked with the bike. It was kind of a charcoal gray. It didn't seem to really go too well with the bike. So I decided, okay, I'm going to strip it down, or at least get it sanded down, buffed down, so that it's rough and it'll take a good coat of paint. I'll paint it up, and I'll trim it out, and I'll basically make it look like it was made for the bike. And so this is the final product of it. You can see I've painted the backs where the axle will actually go through and mount, where your disc brake mount will be. The rubber stops, I've got those painted. I did not paint my carbon bars that allow for that suspension to take place. I've got the sides painted as well as the inside. And we'll actually take a look at that. But it's something that I think goes a little more with the bike. It looks like it belongs, and that was kind of the intent. So I guess it's been about 2 weeks is when I started it. Like I said, I had to sand it down, get it kind of roughened up, and then from there I used a single stage black car paint essentially. Sprayed it with one real good coat, and that's the end result, is that color of black, which blends pretty well, matches pretty well with the bike. After that, had to do a slight wet sand to it to roughen it up so that it'd accept the other paints, which were enamels. So then I trimmed it up to get these lines here, the stoppers, and then the back pieces, and then this inside. Trimmed those out, did my white first, made sure not to get overspray or anything on the rest of the frame. Then I did the red. In taking the trim off, I had some areas where I take a little bit out of the paint for whatever reason, and so I'd have to go and do some touch-up. So went and did some touch-up, did my wet sanding, got it to a point where it was good. It, nice smooth lines, good transitions between lines, and then this past weekend did 3 coats, I believe, of a clear coat enamel on it to give it that nice kind of glossy shine. So the bike is ready to be kind of put back together now. We're done with that step. Next step's going to be getting the bars wrapped, making a roll bag that'll go up on the front to be able to accept a sleeping bag, tent, all that stuff. We'll be making a dry bag for the sleeping bag, something that'll be kind of more compact than what it actually came in, which is kind of a big ball that's short and squat and not kind of long and tight. So make a dry bag for that, and then a roll bag that can kind of mount up on here. There'll probably be some challenges with figuring out how to kind of mount it to the bars, but I mean that's something to look at for that. So let's take a closer look at this, and you can actually see what the details look like. Now, some of the important things to note is this is no way a perfect paint job, and I'm aware of that. But to give you an idea, as you can see, had these lines that would taper down as it goes down, and it kind of follows the contours of the bike. And as you can see when you look on the other side here, you get the same kind of thing where it contours and it just tapers down. Now, if you recall, originally we had affixed the front brake down down the fork and then around and down to where our disc brake mount goes in right here. So little zip ties go in through here, and it just holds it in place with the fork. I wanted to kind of accent those to go with everything else, and so having that red, or having the white coming down here with the little red for the mounts, it just really popped. So that was one of the ideas behind that. So if we kind of turn it back around and we actually look up, we can see that, might be able to see that we got this red that kind of tapers down just like the outside with the white, but it tapers down and then it goes all the way up, and you know, it just kind of becomes full there. It'll be mostly concealed by the tires, but I think that's okay. Then we did these stoppers kind of in a white, just to kind of match with these and just kind of give a little pop, a little accent. And then here on the back we did just a red, the same as kind of like the stoppers, the mounts, and the inside of the wheel well. So did red on that, and like I said, I think it matches well with the bike. I think it goes pretty well together. It looks like it was meant for the bike. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that's kind of where we are right now. There's a lot of things coming up. There'll probably be some more videos here this week. Here in 2 weeks, not this coming Memorial Day weekend, but the following weekend, going to go for the first kind of shakedown ride over a weekend to try out all the gear, try out the bike, just start kind of getting myself engrossed in the experience. June's going to be a pretty busy month of doing a lot of gravel riding and stuff like that, getting myself acclimated to that style of riding instead of the road riding, which I do every day. So there's a lot coming up. Keep your eyes for more videos. Keep the comments coming, questions, you know, all those things. I'll make sure I reply to you guys as soon as I can. And this is getting exciting. It's less than 2 months away, and although I don't have a bike that's fully assembled yet, I'm getting close, and the excitement's building. So we will see you guys next time. Have a great one.